Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my playthrough of Final Fantasy 2. In this video series, we're going to be playing through every single Final Fantasy game, 1 through 16 anyway, and just kind of doing more of a walkthrough at this point, showing folks how to play the game, where cool stuff might be found, how to build your characters, that kind of thing. However, we will still be talking about any lore that we happen to find along the way. We want to connect all the Final Fantasy games through lore, and I think it can be done. A long-lived peace. This does look pretty peaceful. Is at an end. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty bad. The Emperor of Palamecia has... Oh, it's really fast. And has begun his campaign for world conquest. A rebel army arose in the kingdom of Finn to thwart the evil... I can't read that fast. It's going really fast. But the rebels and the castle fell to an all-out assault by the Empire. This is already much different from Final Fantasy 1, right? Much more fast-paced. Left with little choice, the rebels withdrew. So I'm just going to try to focus on reading this fast enough. 4 young youths from Finn also found themselves fleeing the Empire. They had lost their parents at the hands of the Empire. But their escape wasn't over. Indeed. So we're gonna battle these Black Knights right here. Let's see how bad we suck. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty sucky. Oh yeah, we're dead. Except we're not. How are we not dead? We just watched ourselves get a game over, but what happened there? Will he live? He will. I sense a strong life force within him. He should regain consciousness soon. We found him like this on the escape from Finn, fallen from terrible wounds. Okay, so we found that? So I guess Hilda is the princess, I think. She's kind of the commander of the rebel army. And this other dude is Minwu. He's a healer, I believe. By the time we brought him here, I feared it was already too late. His life is not in danger. You sure? We just got wrecked by things that were probably 50 levels higher than us. Oh wait, there are no levels in this game. We'll talk about that in a second. The sigil will strengthen his life force. We should let him rest now. Of course. We'd best be off to the meeting. I'd imagine they're already waiting for us. If the Empire is allowed to complete the dreadnought they're building in Bafsk, their attack will begin in earnest. We cannot sit idly by and watch. We must act. We must learn how to read. Okay, so the intro for this goes pretty fast. There's a lot to unpack here in comparison to like Final Fantasy 1. Where am I? Leon! Maria! Guy? Your name's really Guy? Alright, Guy. Where are you? Okay, hey, here's some of my friends, right? You guys died with me too, didn't you? Furion, you're alive. I thought you'd... I'm fine, Maria. You seem alright too, Guy. But wait, where's Leon? I don't know what kind of voice I should have for a Guy. Princess of Finn, save us. But Leon, not here. I see. Don't worry. I'm sure he's okay. I hope he's okay. Let's go ask her about Leon. Maybe she saw him? Leon and Maria are brother and sister, by the way. I don't think that's a spoiler. So you've regained your strength. Very good. Your life force is strong indeed. It was you who saved us, wasn't it? Thank you. Forgive me, Your Highness, but there's something I must ask of you. Please, let us join the rebel army. Now, keep in mind that your characters are very young, I believe, in this game. We're maybe like 16. So when we ask to join the rebel army, they're of course like, no way. You're not, no. I could never allow such a thing. You know nothing of battle. You would only be throwing your lives away. No, it's true. We actually got stepped on by the Empire just now, so... You should return to your homes. But we have no homes. Not anymore. The Imperials attacked, and our parents... I am truly sorry, but that changes nothing. I cannot permit you to join our army. If you've nowhere else to go, you're welcome to stay here in Altair. If you know our password, you should be able to live here well enough. The password is Wild Rose. Remember it well. So this is a little new mechanic that we don't see in any other Final Fantasy ever, really, where we are going to have keywords. We can learn them and then ask other NPCs about them. So let's ask her about Wild Rose. Wild Rose is the insignia of the Kingdom of Fynn. It represents our hope for a flourishing future of strength and beauty. But what will become of Fynn now? I've heard the Empire's captives suffer there in confinement, even as we speak. Maria, your brother Leon is missing, is he not? It's possible that he's being held in Fynn as well. But Fynn is far too dangerous to travel to now. The Emperor's beasts still stalk the streets. Gaining entrance to the city will not be easy. The man at my right is Minwu, the white wizard who tended your wounds. Speak with him before you leave. He may be of some assistance. So she says that we can't join the army, but at the same time, it kind of seems like she's setting us up to go and save. I mean, she basically just said that her brother's being held captive and being tortured, right? So, of course, like, what are we supposed to do? All right, I know how to play. Stop that. Okay, let's talk to Minwu. I see your destiny clearly. The future it holds seems closely entwined with my own. You will begin journeying to Fynn. That is the first step toward realizing your fate, and even Minwu tells us to go to Fynn. Let's ask him about the Wild Rose. Heh, you've wasted no time using the password. Heed well the information it will bring you. You can learn much of value by listening. I offer you one more bit of advice before you depart for Fynn. Those who have fallen in battle can be revived at a sanctuary. Should one of you fall before you reach Fynn, go without hesitation to the nearest sanctuary. Okay, good. Good indeed. Okay, so this is considered to be like the black sheep of Final Fantasy games, and the reason why is because if you take a look, we don't have any levels. That's right, no levels. We don't level up at all. We have stats, but no levels. And now the next thing I'm going to talk about is jobs. So jobs, let's talk about that for a second. If we're going to get into the lore here just a little bit, jobs in Final Fantasy games come from the crystals. No crystals, no jobs. So that's why you don't really see any jobs in Final Fantasy 2, because there are no crystals in this game. What happened to them? I don't know. We learn later on in other Final Fantasies that the crystals are quite fragile and they can break. Maybe something like that happened. If we're trying to form a timeline that for which game comes first or what game is following what game, whatever, that's kind of an important thing to keep in mind. So the port of Palum lies not far east of here, but the lake separates us, so you won't be able to reach the town without a canoe. Heading to Fynn, are we? It's not my place to tell you what to do, but I'd reconsider if I were you. It's a dangerous place to be, you see. The city is crawling with the Empire's monsters. To the north lies a small village called Gatria. Judging by the looks of you, you'd be lucky to make it that far. Before you go anywhere, I suggest you visit the room with the sigil that saved your life. There you'll find people who can teach you a thing or two about adventuring. I think you're going to need all the advice they can spare. Golly, this is the Rebel Army's war room. Okay, good. I just wanted to exhaust the dialogue. So jobs. So no crystals, no jobs, right? However, there's still things that we can do, right? Even though we don't have jobs. This is kind of how I end up setting this game up a little bit. Maria, as you can tell from her stats, she has higher intellect than the others by 5. She starts with higher intellect. She starts with higher agility. So she has some options that you can do. Magic interference. What is that, I wonder? Because Furion has a lot of that. Magic interference. To interfere with the enemy's magic? Is that... I mean, we have a magic defense. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up what magic interference is. But anyway, whatever. What I typically end up doing is I end up kind of having Furion as like a dual wielder of swords. I normally stick about 2 swords in his hands and let him go to town. Maria is my mage. I use her as a mage. I keep her in the back and let her cast spells. And then Guy is my big, heavy damage dealer. As you can see, he has the higher strength, the higher stamina. He's built to do damage and take damage. So they want us to visit in here. These guys, I just think, well, they're kind of like the 12 sages, except there's only 10 of them, right? He teaches you about the flea. He teaches you about monsters. I know all of this stuff. I'm going to teach you guys better than any of this stuff, so just save some time and not worry about it. Skill levels, yeah, so there are no levels in this game, so how do we level up? How do we raise our stats? Well, that's interesting. We'll talk about that when we get outside and start fighting some monsters. Let's keep exploring. I'll try not to randomly switch my character like that. The king is in his bedchamber. His majesty was grievously wounded in the fight for Finn. He's been resting here for some time now. This is the king's bedchamber, blah, 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 blah. An arrow stuck me in the back during the battle, leaving me in this state. Perhaps I really have grown old. My daughter, Hilda, now serves as regent. You should speak with her. I have. She basically told us to go screw ourselves. Let's get out of here and go keep exploring rooms. Right in here. Okay. That must be Hilda's room. She's not in there right now because she's busy sitting on the throne. The throne of madness. You're in the rebel hideout town of Altair. Right. Gordon, the Prince of Kashwan, is hiding out here in Altair. I don't know what happened, but something has made him lose faith in himself. Princess Hilda fled here when Finn was sacked. She's doing a remarkable job of leading the rebel army while His Majesty recovers. The rebel army. These games have like they really remind you of Star Wars a little bit. They're so similar. So anyway, unlike Final Fantasy 1, where it's just so much more peaceful, really. I mean, yeah, you got demons and stuff like that. You're stuck in a time loop. You got the 4 fiends of chaos and all that kind of stuff. But this one, you're straight up in a war. So it looks like all of the invading, or all of the kingdoms, rather, got invaded. And all the royalty has kind of converged here on this town. This is Prince Gordon of another kingdom that got invaded and destroyed. My name is Gordon. I was once a prince of Kashwan, but now I'm nothing but a coward. When my brother Scott fell in battle, I abandoned my kingdom and fled here. Let's ask him about the Wild Rose, since that's an option. So you've asked to take up arms in the struggle. I'm so afraid Hilda will turn me away that I haven't even asked her. I've been stalling here. I'm just a spineless coward. Go ahead, laugh. I deserve it. Gordon, this young man, he ends up becoming braver than any of us. Let's talk to Paul. I'm Paul, the greatest thief in all the world. They've yet to invent the loot I can't burgle or steal. The Imperial coffers have kept my purse fat with gil lately. I never steal from rebels, you can be sure of that. My home was in Finn, too. I can't even go home now that the Empire has occupied the city. What does he say? This is the town of Altair. The Imperial forces haven't been deployed this far out yet. I suppose it's only a matter of time, though. Okay, yeah, it is. It's only a matter of time. Even though this is like a... It's not even really like a big kingdom. It's just like a smaller town, but the Empire does not care about that. Let's keep talking to NPCs. Tabul, the fellow over in the weapons shop, is one fine blacksmith. I think something's been bothering him lately, though. Tabul. What was the name of... Oh, yeah, never mind. I was going to ask what was the name of the blacksmith in Final Fantasy 1, but he was a straight-up dwarf. His name was Smith, the Smithy. What could you want with me? I'm just an old man. The Geezer Act is just a cover. My name's Tabul, and I'm the best damn blacksmith in the Rebel Army. Sweet. Well, let's talk to this dude. So we have some things. Looks like I already have 2 broadswords, so that's kind of cool. We can get javelins, staves, and knives. So Maria's got a bow. Like I said, she's my mage. I'm going to put on a staff for her because there are levels. Unlike Final Fantasy 1, there are weapon levels. I think there's shield skill and stuff like that. Let me take a look here really quick so I could show you guys. Yeah, right there on the right, it'll say skill level. Got all the weapons, including a shield right there too. Even hand-to-hand is a skill, which I think I'm going to have Guy do this time around. Not to be cheap. Just... How do I remove it? There we go. Just kind of want to try out hand-to-hand. Just to punch things. You can be like a monk. He can be like a monk. So we have the option to make anybody anything that we want in this game. It doesn't really matter. That's kind of the nice thing about not having jobs. The crappy thing about not having jobs is, well, I can't actually switch to a black mage. You kind of just have to make it yourself. Let's see. That's pretty good. I think we're going to have Furion dual-wield swords because I like that kind of thing. And that should do for the equipment there. Keep in mind that if you put on heavier, just like in Final Fantasy 1, if you put on heavier armor, your evasion and magic interference will also go down. I want to say that that's like, I almost want to say that's like spell casting time, right? Because it looks like the heavier armor that you wear, the more it like adds to your magic interference, right? Or it interferes with your magic interference. Okay, that makes sense. So if you have no armor on at all, you'd have less magic interference. I don't know if that is going to help with spell casting speed or damage, but we'll find out, and I'll let you guys know how that plays out. So now we have white magic shops, and I think they're all one and the same now, but we have magic shops just like how we have in Final Fantasy 1. Except we're not white or black mages. How can we learn magic? Well, in this game, anybody can learn anything. But your effectiveness of being able to cast that spell is going to depend on your stats and your magic points and things like that. Cure is going to be pretty important. However, if you guys watched my playthrough of Final Fantasy 1, I'm a black magic kind of guy. I'm into the black magic. I'm a black mage. We're going to get a Tomb of Blizzard and a Tomb of Cure, and I'm going to run out of magic points. So now you can kind of use them just like how we were able to use them. Maria's going to be my black mage, so I'm going to teach her the Blizzard. Furion is going to handle white magic, or at least some of it. I like to have Maria have the ability to use both white and black magic, though. And I think that's about it. Did we go into the armor shop yet? I don't think so. Let's head in and check it out. We don't have a leather cap. Let's buy it. We don't have leather gloves. Let's buy it. And we're going to probably put those on to Guy. I think it's pronounced Guy, right? Let's put on the leather cap and the leather gloves. And sorry, Furion, we're out of money now. I'm broke. Okay, so let's go outside and I'll show you guys about how to level up, or that there are no levels in this game, so we're just kind of stat building, really. Let's get into a random encounter. There's some goblins here, just like Final Fantasy 1. Not much different there, right? Let's kind of fast forward this a little bit. So the way that you're going to gain stats is by using the stats, using the things that you want to use. So there's some experience points right there for our skills. And as you can see, Furion's going to get 1 strength. And we got that strength by simply swinging your weapons. As long as you're swinging your weapons, your strength is going to go up. If you take a lot of HP damage, which I'll show you here, this is a little scary. I'll try not to kill myself, maybe. See, being able to dual wield right out of the gate is kind of nice, huh? Anyway, I didn't level up what I wanted to level up, but we got some weapons and stuff that are leveling up now, which is kind of nice. Furion's getting some more strength and some evasion. Maria's getting some evasion. Where we're getting evasion from, I don't know. Let's see if I can be more helpful. Okay, here, we got a lot of enemies here, so that's going to be good. I'm going to have him probably just attack an enemy. We're going to cast Blizzard. Why am I hitting myself? Well, you'll see here in a second. I'll explain that in just a second. So Blizzard's going to do a small amount of damage. So if you want your HP to go up at the end of the battle, you have to take a significant amount of HP damage. Same thing with MP. If you want your MP to go up, you're going to have to use... Oh, I did not mean for that. Whoops. Okay, he really hit himself very hard there. Let's just end the battle now and get out of it so I can go do what I need to do. I think if you die, you're not going to get any stats at all whatsoever, so that's kind of a bummer. I did not mean for him to hit himself in the face for 55 points of damage. Holy cow. Okay, so here we have Furion's HP is going up, his stamina is going up, his agility is going up, evasion and magic defense, all the good stuff. It looks like our gil, we get like individual gil for each individual enemy, and it shows that for some reason. I don't know why. So they were talking about a sanctuary. If you do die, just come back to the rebel headquarters. You're going to come here to the left, right back into the sigil room. And I believe this should... Wandering soul, return now from that distant land where sorrow and darkness hold sway. Okay. We don't have churches anymore. We just have like strange symbols on the ground. Strange demonic symbols on the ground that just magically bring our people back to life. We don't have churches anymore, I guess. Anyway, that's fine. Now we're going to head to probably the inn because we need to rest our HP and MP back up. And that's pretty nice. Okay, so now let me show you really quick about magic, you guys. If you go to magic and you go to Maria, you'll see that I have a very small little sliver. That's a little bit more than a sliver, but I got a little bump of experience points into my Blizzard. Your magic can level up just like your weapon skills can. So eventually Blizzard will become Blizzara and then Blizzaga eventually by the time it reaches like level 10. Magic is a sick nightmare to level up in this game, so choose your spells wisely. That is some great advice I can offer to anybody. Cures, you're going to be curing throughout the entire game, and I think that even when you cure yourself outside of battle, you'll still get experience points for that, so no big deal there. Your cure spells are always going to go up. You didn't have to poison me. That was rude. I guess it was very rude that I punched that bee in the face for 75 damage too, right? Furion's sword leveled up. He's just going to get a lot of strength, apparently. Poison apparently will wear off after battle. Well, there's two different kinds of poisons. This is like a baby poison, but there is a big boy poison later on that it will last throughout the battle. Anyway, I hope I've kind of given a little bit of a tutorial on how to level up. Just one thing that's kind of funny is later on when we are not so weak, the way that we're going to level up our hit points is by kind of hitting each other like how I was trying to do earlier. So to kind of think about that, the enemies, we're going to be getting into a random encounter with an enemy, right? Maybe a goblin or something like that. And that goblin's just going to sit there and watch our heroes beat the crap out of each other. So as a monster, I would be really concerned about that. Let's go ahead and see if we can maybe level up our Blizzard a little bit more. Because Blizzard is... It's only 1 MP to cast, right? However, when it becomes Blizzard 2, it's going to be 2 MP. When it becomes Blizzard 3, it's going to be 3 MP. So, and here we actually got our MP to go up. We got our intelligence to go up, which is amazing. Maria got lots of things. Now, there is intelligence and magic separate from one another. That's going to be Important to have both for the big numbers, the big damage. And here, as you can see, I casted Cure once, and we got a little bump of experience points there just for doing it one time. That's not going to help you gain MP, though. So you got to do that in battle. Your MP is not going to go up outside of battle. Like I said, this is like the black sheep of Final Fantasy. Your character growth is entirely up to you. If you want more MP for spells, get to casting. If you want to level up particular spells, get to casting. If you want to level up your swords, get to swinging. So on and so forth. Anyway, I'm going to probably do a little bit of grinding, and then we'll head up north to... what did he say the name of that town was? Anyway, we'll head up north to the next town. So I did a little bit of grinding. I just wanted to show this, that having a buckler or any kind of shield really increases the heck out of your magic interference. They really want your mages to die and get hurt badly. So if you were thinking that you were going to put a shield on your mage, bad idea. It's going to make your magic interference go up too high. I think that's about it. Like I said, you can do this any way you want to. You can dual wield spears if you want. You can have a spear and a sword if you want. That's totally fine. It's totally up to you. I like running things this way. I typically give Guy here, I usually give him an axe and a shield and have him tank. This is kind of the first time I'm going to have him just kind of punch things in the head. I noticed, however, that in battle he's only punching once, so I don't know if he punches with each hand, so maybe it would be a good idea to have a buckler on him. Oop, nope, bad idea. Take a look at that attack. Look at what happens to it. It goes down the drain. So he kind of is punching once, but it's kind of putting both of the punches into one attack is what it seems like anyway. I'm going to hit the inn real quick. We didn't really get many stats, but I got a little bit more MP and stuff like that. I'm going to hit the inn really quick, and then we're going to head up north to whatever the next town is now that I'm done yakking. I've been playing this for almost 30 minutes and we haven't even left the first town, so I'm taking too long. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Okay, and there we go. Just like Final Fantasy 1 or any of the pixel remasters, you can just turn encounters off. Is it cheating? Probably, but I'm kind of making a video here, so we don't want to edit out every random encounter. I don't want to have to pause and unpause through every single battle. Let's just turn them off so I can show you guys where to go. So, pretty straightforward path. There's not many ways to deviate from it, at least not yet. Ooh, look at that. What was that? Let's talk about that for a second. In Final Fantasy 1, airships were, well, non-existent. We found one that was ancient and buried in the sand. But now they're commonplace. Airships are flying all over the place. Interesting if we're trying to find a place to put this game. Is this maybe the distant past from Final Fantasy 1 where airships were commonplace? Because remember, we found one in Final Fantasy 1. It was just ancient. It was a thing. People used airships a lot just a long time ago. Is this that period? Or did maybe the folks from Final Fantasy 1 take a look at the airship and adapt to the technology from that and make their own, and this is more of in the future? We don't know. Let's keep playing. We'll find out. Anyway, this is the next town that we want to get to, and I couldn't remember the name of it before, but now we know it's called Gatria. Let's talk to the folks of Gatria and see what kind of things they're talking about. This is the village of Gatria. Finn is just over there across the lake. See? Well, no, I don't see. I can't really see from here. And this is just a small town, but they do have their... Whoops. They do have their own weapon and armor shop, as you guys saw. We do have an inn. We have an item shop. We have an old man standing right here. The Imperial forces have occupied Castle Finn. The gates are drawn and no one can enter. And with Imperial troops and monsters roaming the streets, the city isn't any better off. Monsters, gosh. Now, we knew we had monsters in Final Fantasy 1, right? There were lots of monsters. But this is a little bit different, right? Because we're not just dealing with like the four fiends of chaos. We're dealing with actual people. There's an empire trying to take over the world for whatever reason. I don't know, but they're upset at the world and they're trying to take it over. And for some weird reason, they are able to employ monsters. They have monsters working for them. Gatria and Altair haven't fallen into the clutches of the empire yet, but once the dreadnought is complete, nothing will be able to stop the empire. Now we learn about something called the Dreadnought. What in the world is that? There's a pub just on the outskirts of Fynn. When the Empire invaded, the barkeep didn't make it out on time. They say he's still working there, pouring drinks for the Imperials. And that young man right there... Oh, did I lie to you guys? I did. There is a church. We still have churches, just not in Altair, apparently. We have a demonic sigil that resurrects our folks from the dead, but here we can pray at the church and come back to life that way, the old-fashioned way. I think the thing is that these charge you money, just like in Final Fantasy 1, to come back. But in Altair, you kind of get a free ride. I think that's everybody to talk to in this village. There's only like 3 people. We can see Fynn right across the lake. Yep, that's where we're going. Let's check out the weapon and item shop before we leave for sure. Well, you guys are such a small village and put up no resistance, so they probably didn't really care to conquer this right away. It probably wasn't very high on the priority list. This is all the same stuff, armor-wise, that we were able to get in Altair. Let's check the weapon shop and see if there's anything new there. Not at all. All the same stuff. Same stuff I already have. Right? I don't really have a javelin. But I'm not really fond of spears in this game. If you guys like spears, try them out. Do your thing. Kick some butt with them. I'm more of a swords and daggers kind of a guy, but I think I'm just going to go with just swords in this playthrough. So, with that said, we're going to keep going. This kind of widens out a little bit. It looks like you can actually get down all the way down here if you really wanted to. I don't see why you would really want to. I'm going to go down here just for heck's sake. Anyway, I don't know why I'm showing this, but if you can actually go to the other side of the world map by coming down here. And you're actually free to explore pretty much the entire game at this point, but we're not going to do that right now. Good thing I have encounters turned off because I'm pretty sure the random encounters here would just absolutely slay me. Let's head back to Fynn, where we're supposed to go. And here we are. As the young man said in Galtria, Fynn is just on the other side of the water, and this is it right here. And just like in Final Fantasy 1, we have a town and also a castle that we can check out. If you go to the castle, you'll see that it's completely barred. There's nothing that you can do here. You can't even like sneak around back and stuff like that. And if we go to the town, this place is absolutely occupied by the Empire. It's just as we heard. The city is crawling with Imperial soldiers. We have to be careful. Make sure not to get too close. Okay, so they warn you, don't talk to the soldiers here. Don't even get close to them. If you take a look around the town, they're blocking a lot of the doors there, but we can still go into the weapon and armor shop. However, there's nobody here quite yet. Nobody in the weapon shop, nobody in the armor shop. They're probably held captive and being tortured. Remember, this Fynn is the capital of where the rebels were. They just kicked us out of here. And we had to leave, and everybody got slaughtered and killed. The town's actually a pretty nice, peaceful-looking shape, despite it all. Despite all these soldiers walking around. Anyway, the place where we're actually supposed to go is right in here. And... am I fibbing to you guys? I think I might be. I might be just lying to you. Just told you guys a horrible lie. Sorry. We don't want to come in here, but I'll show you where we actually do want to go. We want to kind of sneak around. We have an item shop right there. This is the pub, right? This is where they told us to go. So if you come here, it's full of Imperial soldiers. Homeboy's just kind of hiding in the corner right there. He's just serving drinks to these guys. Try not to talk to any of them because they will engage you in combat as soon as you do, and they will kill you dead. Whoa, where do you think you're going? Customers aren't allowed back behind the counter. These Imperials are ill-bred as they come. Ask him, or tell him, rather, the secret password. Aha! You're with the rebels. You'll find a secret door in this wall. There's a wounded soldier back there. Go see if you can help him. What am I going to do? I've had it with this place. You guys can take it from here. Don't let us down. I'm surprised they just let him walk out. He's the only one serving drinks. Anyway, this has a secret wall, and you can come behind it. And in here, you will find that Prince Scott, Gordon's brother, is actually not dead. He's right here. Are you going to turn me over to the Empire? At least have the decency to kill me first. I don't want them to take me alive. I don't blame you, sir. Ask him about the password. So you're rebel soldiers, are you? My name is Scott. I am a prince of Kashuan. Prince Scott? We were told you fell in battle. Thank goodness you're still alive. I am, but not for much longer. I'm afraid I must ask a favor of you. There's something you must tell my brother Gordon. Tell him I know he has great strength. He must learn to have more faith in himself. Also, I have a message for the king. Tell him the reason Finn fell so quickly is that Count Borgen betrayed us. He's been made a general in the Imperial Army. There's one more thing. Tell Hilda that I love her. No, don't deliver that last message. The confessions of a dying man. That would only bring her pain. My brother Leon, have you heard of him? I'm sorry, but I have not. I wish I could be more help. Here, I want you to take my ring. I'm sure it'll be of use. Maybe all this talking, but I've grown extremely tired. If you'll excuse me, I just need to rest, just for a little while. That's pretty screwed up. You obtained Scott's ring. What's the significance of Scott's ring? A memento from Scott. Apparently someone in Galtria knows how to use it. Okay, we can use it. We also have some treasure here. Don't forget to open up all the boxes, some potions and things like that. And we're going to go ahead and move along. So we learn about a Count Borgen. It's almost like a Count Dooku. It sounds like he maybe worked for the king or worked for somebody in Finn. Betrayed them. He sold us out to the Empire, and it really didn't take us long to fall. We have the magic shop. It's open, but nobody's here. Everybody's out at the whole torture session. They're getting tortured right now. I don't know why they would torture random shopkeepers. I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna head back now. I wish I had the canoe. It'd be a little quicker. It'd be quicker for you guys. Whoops! It'd be quicker for you guys if I just pause and reappear. Ooh, I almost forgot that we have to stop here, right? Because somebody in this town apparently knows how to use this ring. There's only like 3 people in this town, so. With the Imperial troops and monsters roaming the streets, the city isn't been any better off. Right. We learned about the pub. Was this lady here before? I don't remember. Gatry and Altair haven't fallen into the closure. Oh, yeah, she was. Okay, so I talked to her. So somebody here knows how to use the ring. Let me take a look inside the inn and stuff. No. It's not that kind of inn. It's not a social gathering kind of a place. Anyway, somebody knows how to use this thing. I don't know where we go to find that person. Kind of a confusing message there, right? Because it sounds like that's where we're supposed to go next, is to figure out how to use the ring. The one ring. But something tells me that maybe somebody here in Altair is going to know how to use it too, right? Let's go talk to who we need to talk to. Notice real quick that Paul is gone. He's not here right now. Gordon's still here. He's still whimpering and stuff like that. Should we show him the ring? Let's show Gordon the ring. That ring! It's my brother's. He really said all those things about me? Yeah, aren't you more concerned than the fact that he's dead, though? You're not a spineless coward. I think it's weird that you don't care more about your brother's death. From here, let's talk to the king, right? Because we had a message for him. Oh, his room is this one. Oh, it doesn't give us the option to ask him anything or do anything, so I guess we'll just go talk to Hilda. Okay, and we talked to Hilda. She tells you the password. We're going to show her the ring. That ring belonged to Scott. Is he alive? He gave us this ring and the screen gets dark. He gave us this ring and Finn just before he lost the last of his strength. Did he say anything? No, nothing. Your Highness, please, the ring belongs with you. No, keep it. It suits a personage of courage. Thank you. You infiltrated Finn and returned to tell the tale. You've proven yourselves quite capable. It would seem I underestimated your strength. I would have you lend that strength to our cause. So now you're going to let us join the rebel army? She basically already did anyway, I feel like. There's a magical metal known as mithril, and we need strong warriors if we are to obtain it. Let's ask her about mithril. That's interesting. I talked about mithril in my Final Fantasy I playthrough. We lost Finn because we were ill-equipped. The Empire fought with weapons and armor made of mithril. I have charged Joseph, a man living in Salaman, with the task of finding a source of mithril. I do not know the cause, but we've been out of contact with him for some time now. Would you go with Minwu to Salaman to look into this? Okay, so Joseph knows about where the mithril is. Let's talk to Minwu. I heard Her Highness' words, and I have waited here for you since. To reach Salaman, we must first pass through the port town of Paloom. Take my canoe, and let us be on our way. Minwu joined the party. So, in Final Fantasy I, we have all 4 members already right at the beginning. And that's it. That's all we're ever going to get. In this game, we have 3 members who never leave the party as far as I can remember right now anyway. But we have this 4th slot that is for kind of like guest members. Minwu is going to be very beneficial to us. He's a very powerful white mage. Has great HP compared to us anyway. Has great MP compared to us anyway. He's going to be very valuable for this beginning part of the game. Let's see what he has equipped to. Staff and a copper curious. I think we can actually just give him leather armor. And we can put the copper curious on Guy. Also, I don't know if it's like Final Fantasy 1, but I kind of want to have... Huh. I know I could put them in the back or the front. We have back and front rows now, too. I forgot to mention that. So I have Maria in the back row because she's going to be pretty squishy. Characters in the back row will deal less physical damage, but they'll also take less physical damage as well. In the front row, vice versa. So that's why you have your attackers in the front and mages in the back. Minwu is such a beast that it doesn't really matter. He can just hang out in the front row for now. That's fine. He has all these numbers represent what level of spell he has as well. So this is Cure 7. He also has Life 7, Asuna 3, so on and so forth with all of these. Very nice and useful spells to have at the very, very beginning of the game. He's really going to help guide us and help us grind. The construction of the Dreadnought in Bafsk draws near to completion. The townspeople have been enslaved and are being forced to work without rest. See what kind of horrible things happen in this game? People are enslaved. I wanted to talk to her one more time because I was wondering if I can learn that keyword Dreadnought. That's the second time that we've heard about the Dreadnought, but we don't have the ability to ask about it, which is kind of weird. The Empire also suffered heavy losses at the Battle of Fen. Well, it doesn't sound like it. Oh, there we go. See that? See that? They're building the Dreadnought in Bafsk to help compensate for those losses. We want to learn that word for sure. Let's ask her about that. The Empire is using the people of Bastard to build the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought itself is a massive, heavily armed airship. So now we know what it is. Let's learn about airships and ask about them. A man named Sid, the former captain of Finn's Order of the White Knights. built an airship. So Sid is in this game. He builds airships just like he does in many other Final Fantasy games. However, for this game, he was captain of Finn's Order of the White Knights, which is interesting to keep in mind. If the ship that sails... It's a ship that sails the skies, but the airship captivated him, body and soul, and he soon left for Finn. We are poor for his absence. I am told he now lives in Poft, granting travelers passage on his airship for a price. He then uses the money to make further renovations on his airship, or so the story goes. Indeed. Once we don't really need to ask her about the Wild Rose anymore. She already taught us that. Anyway, Mithril. What was I going to say about Mithril? That Mithril in Final Fantasy 1 is kind of commonplace. As soon as you make it to Elfheim, which is like the second town, basically, the elves are telling you that you should try out Mithril. They, strangely enough, don't have any in their shops to sell, but once you get a little bit further in the game, you can buy it anywhere. You can find it in treasure chests. It's all over the place. But in Final Fantasy 2, it's a little bit more rare. Something that gives the Empire an edge, though, is the fact that they do have mithril weapons. It sounds like something that's... The way that they mention it, though, it sounds like it's something that's kind of newer, something that they just discovered, or something that they're maybe rediscovering. We'll find out some more information about it when we reach... Paloom? When we reach Salamand, right? We're going to go talk to Joseph about it. He's like the mithril master. And here I wanted to show the canoe. It's very Final Fantasy 1 looking. If you have the canoe, you can just cross this body of water just north of Altair. And if you do, you'll come to this port town. So far, the map is actually rather similar to what we see in Final Fantasy 1, right? I mean, the port town is actually a little bit further away, but in Final Fantasy 1. And Final Fantasy 2, it's just kind of right here. So here we are in Paloom. We're going to talk to, I think, this person right here. And she'll take you all the way to Poft for only 32 gil. That's actually not too bad. Let's talk to everybody else, though. The Empire hasn't attacked Paloom or Poft, at least not yet. The ship heading out of our little port will take you straight to Poft. Which is the town that Sid's in, right? And we want to talk to Sid because we want to take a ride on that airship of his, right? Basf, Salamand, once you pass Poft, they say all cities are under the control of the Empire. Now there's a fine lass. How about you and me go have a drink? With you? Not a chance. That's kind of weird. If I talk to him with Guy, do I get different dialogue? Oh no, he just took one look at Maria and he got the hots for. Let's talk to this guy. This is Paloom. It's just a little port town. Yeah. You're just a little port town. Okay, so we have a weapon shop, an armor shop. Let's talk to, I believe, this last NPC. Paloom is a town of freedom. Want to settle down here with me, handsome? Wow, how come we're getting hit on left and right in this town? I guess it is a town full of pirates, right? Let's see. We got a mace, which gives, even though it's a staff, it gives magic interference plus 20, which we don't like that, right? And then we have an axe and a bow, so nothing really new there. That makes me want to double check my stuff, though. Does this give me magic interference? It does. It does, and for some reason my attack actually goes up. So if you take a look at the stats, just like in Final Fantasy 1, this staff is not going to give you any more intelligence or any spells or anything like that. We can just take it off and have 0 magic interference because, well, Maria should just be casting spells. That's all I really want her to do. You could put on her clothes. The magic interference at 2 isn't that bad, but if you're wanting to like max your damage and stuff like that, you just want to have 0. You want to take everything off. Let's see. Let's enter the armor shop. We got better looking shields. We got better looking helmets. We've got better everything. I just don't have much gil though because I haven't really been grinding. And then for spells, Cure, Blink, Protect, and Shell. These are pretty good. Like I said, choose your magic very wisely because level 1 spells are not super duper effective. So you're going to want to work on them to level them up. However, once things start to get up, I mean, getting a spell to like level 2 or 3 isn't that bad, but once you start to get beyond that, it takes a really long, dedicated time to level up your spells. To get Blizzard and stuff like that to rank 10, to get any spell really to rank 10, it takes a lot of dedicated casting, and I think that's kind of where you're going to want it to be in order for it to be effective against later enemies and the ender game, against the Ender Dragon. So yeah, I kind of want to be very particular and very precise with what spells I want to use and on who. So I don't really care if Maria has like Fire, Thunder, and Blizzard. Blizzard is just fine. That's good enough. Plus, once we get to, you know, bigger end game spells like Flare and things like that, those are where you're really going to want to put your time, energy, and effort into, right? So let's, at this point, I'm going to go outside and do a little bit of grinding, and then we'll head to Poft. If you are wanting to level up your spells or grind magic, don't forget about your defend option. If she uses Blizzard on all party members like this, it doesn't really do that much damage. I don't really want to die doing that, of course, but it's a good way for her to be able to cast the spell many times without having to worry about killing anybody. And then you could just kind of finish it up on an enemy like that. And as you can see, Maria's Blizzard finally leveled up. Sometimes you do have to cast it multiple times during a battle. Casting it even one time is sometimes not enough, especially once you start to level them up quite a good ways. Furion's going to get some more HP, MP, good stuff just like that. Maria's also going to get some MP. Getting her intelligence to actually go up is quite a challenge, though. Her magic will go up just fine, but her intelligence, I think, is the actual magic damage. I have a thing for black mages, okay? I have a thing for the black magic in Final Fantasy games, so that's why I focus on that. Let's see, some more goblins. You guys don't really need to see me grind, just kind of talking about how to level up spells after all. Another thing to keep in mind on your adventures, if you come to the inn here, you'll see that it costs kind of a strange amount to rest here, 103 gil. It's kind of weird. I don't even have that right now. If you go to your cure spell and you give yourself a nice big heal, you'll see that it goes down a little bit to 102. That's because they charge you money based on your MP that's missing, as well as your HP. So it might be a little bit cheaper to stay at an inn if you just use a cure spell like that to heal up your HP first and then go and rest. In my particular case, it didn't help me much, only 1 gil. But in the future, it might help you save a little bit of money. If you are worried about Maria taking damage, like I said, keeping her in the back row is one thing to do, but instead of just having her completely naked with no armor at all, I highly suggest the Copper Cuirass or armor similar to it. It's so lightweight that you only have 1 magic interference. Not going to interfere with her spells very much. Again, I know this is kind of like a walkthrough, but I'm not 100% sure what magic interference does. I don't know if that ups her damage. It kind of seems to. She seems to really wreck things with that Blizzard right now. Or it could be, I was gonna say like spell casting time, but I don't think that's right either, because of the nature of the game. Like, everybody gets to go one turn. Maybe her turn would come around a little bit faster because of that, but I don't notice that. Anyway, I'm gonna use the last bit of my gil to actually sleep at the inn now. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more gil so we can afford our boat ride, and then we can head to Poft, I think. Okay, and I'm happy. Let's head to Poft now. It's only 32 gil. Also, I think that this is a place, we'll make sure on the map. I'll double check this on the map, but I'm pretty sure that you don't actually need a ship to get there. I'm pretty sure you could just walk there if you wanted to, but whatever. I'm feeling a little lazy. My legs are a little tired from grinding and stuff like that. It's too bad I can't have the map up while we're sailing so I can see exactly where we're sailing. No worries, I'll just take a look once we're here. Okay, so we went from here all the way to where we're at right now. So this must be Poft, and we have like this big open airship looking spot for an airship is what it seems like. Anyway, let's talk to the NPCs here and see what else we can learn. This is the port of Poft. Salamand is to the north, and to our east is Bafsk. Bafsk is like the main stronghold, or yeah, I guess you could say that, main stronghold, main castle of the bad guys. Didn't mean to zone out there, I just kind of want to look around. For 32 gil, he'll take you back. This is the bar, we're going to go there last. Let's talk to this guy. Have you seen the airship? It belongs to a fellow named Sid who lives right here in Poft. He's the only one around who can fly it. I'm sure there's lots of people who can fly airships. They're flying over my head all the time out there, right? Let's keep looking around. We do have a weapon shop in this town. Let's go in and see if they have any different weapons for us. No, not this place either. Anyway, I talk about Mithril not really being very commonplace in this game because it's not. Like I said, we'll have a little bit more information once we find Joseph. You be looking for Sid? He's probably over in the pub. I hear a few gil will get you the ride on that airship of his. Bafsk, the city to our east, is under control of the Empire. They're building something terrible there. That's where the Dreadnought is then, right? Let me check the item shop, or not the item shop, but the magic shop here. Nothing new, just same old, same old. I did want to teach Maria Cure, but I've been having a hard time getting money because I'm actually not fighting a lot of enemies. I'm not really actually grinding all that much. Poor Minwoo, he'll be okay with that one. He should really have one, but he'll be okay. I'm really broke right now. Anyway, let's head to the pub. And we're going to talk to everybody in this whole room. Bafsk, the city to our east, is under control of the Empire. They're building something terrible there. Okay, I think I talked to somebody who says the same thing. Whoops, hang on, buddy. So, right here, it looks like it's quite expensive. Why is it going to Altair 700 gil, isn't it? Oh, okay, because I am kind of far away after taking the ship here. That makes sense, that makes sense. The further away the places you want to go, the more expensive it is. But he will take you to any of these places that you want to go. Summit Falls, Kashwan, Salamand. Kashwan's the city where Gordon and Scott are from, and that place is just pretty much in ruins, if I'm not mistaken. But you can go there, even right now, if you have the gil to do it. Bafsk, the city to our east, is under control of the Empire. They're building something terrible there. Well, we know that already. Is that all you guys say? I guess this is all they say. That's fine by me. What does the bartender have to say? The same thing. Everybody just says the same thing. What does Sid have to say? You're here to ride the airship? If you got the cash, there's no place I can't take you. Let's ask him about it. You want in the airship, you pay the guy behind me. That oversized garbage scow? I don't even know if I've even heard that word before. Airships aren't about how big you build them. Airships are all about what they can do. So you see where Sid's passions lie here? Kind of nice. So if we talk to this guy, we know that we want to go to Salamand. It's 200 gil to get to Salamand, right? But like I said, I'm pretty sure you could just walk there too. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is just taking a little stroll over there. I need some gold anyway. Some gil? I need some gil anyway. And here we go. I just wanted to show this because I don't even think this guy took a point of damage that whole battle. I say that whole battle even though it lasted like 2 seconds, but I think their HP will also just kind of go up at random too, in case it's been a while or something like that. I also wanted to point out like just how much easier this game has kind of become in comparison to its original predecessor. What I mean by that is the original Final Fantasy II, wow, that kind of hurt. The original Final Fantasy II, if you say you wanted to be a caster and you're working on your magic and then you kind of just start swinging on things with your weapons, your stats can actually go down, like your magic stats can. In this particular version in the Pixel Remaster, you don't have to worry about that, thankfully, but the idea was to keep your melee swinging and your mages casting on everything. Like every battle, your mages should be casting something. So it's kind of fun that they changed that for us and made things a little bit more not to screw you over. However, those aren't really that terrible rules to play by. If you were interested in just playing the original, for the original experience, I don't think it would be too hard. But yeah, like I said and like I've been saying, this is kind of like the black sheep of Final Fantasy games for this reason. I mean, there's no jobs and no levels. They completely scrapped their entire formula and just wrote something from scratch. I don't know what influenced them to make that decision. I think one of my theories is, and I've talked about this in another Final Fantasy video before. I don't know, I have a lot of hours playing just Final Fantasy 1. But yeah, I think one of the things that influenced them was that their game was very much like D&D, and I think they wanted to kind of step away from that a little bit and kind of do their own thing. As you can see, we don't have spell slots anymore. We have actual MP. I think you're limited to this, what we call this like bracket here. Like once your magic is full here, you can't really learn anymore. So you can't learn like an infinite amount of spells. However, it is quite a bit. See, we still have a forget command in case we have spells that we want to do that with, and that's okay. So anyway, they have made things a lot easier. Your HP randomly going up, I think, is one of those things. Your stats, I believe they talk about it, and they say that your stats do go up a little bit faster than normal. That kind of thing. So it makes the game a lot more accessible to those who struggle with this sort of a game. For those who want to play it for the storyline, you could always just watch my videos too if you want that. Let's see. I like having Protect and Shell, but I can really only afford one. I think we'll take Protect for now, and I'll just give that to Furion. He's kind of like my designated white mage. Right, because Minwu, like I was saying, Minwu is not going to last on your team forever. Soon he'll be gone, and you'll have a different party member there that's going to be in place. So the idea is for you to level up a decent white mage to kind of help support your party while he's going to be gone. I think he'll rejoin you again, but that's going to be far later in the game. Okay, yeah, I was just looking over my stats. Everything looks pretty good. So we can head to Salamand, the next town. This particular video has gone on for quite a long time. I don't normally have videos quite this long, but at the same time, there's a lot to unpack here and a lot to explain. Once we get to Final Fantasy 3, we'll go back to just regular stuff, but this game is different. It is different from just about anything you've ever seen or played before. Are there games like it? Sure, but just the way that you level up and gain stats and the way that you do magic is just, it's in stark contrast to the way things are in Final Fantasy 1, so I think it required a little bit more of an explanation since I am trying to do like a walkthrough. I do have games here. I'm going to save on slot 3. I guess that was the first time I saved. So let's check out this town really quick, and then we'll wrap up this video and end it for the night. Let's talk to some NPCs here. Here's one. I love Joseph, but I know that if I'm around, I would just get in his way. Wow, you need some self-confidence, lady. The Empires enslaved the men of Salamand and forced them to work in the cave at Semet Falls. Please, you have to help them. So Semet Falls is the place where the Empire is also getting their mithril. It seems to be this one cave, this one place. that Salamand knew about. So that's why they came to Salamand, because they wanted that mithril for themselves and for it to not get distributed anywhere else. We don't see any mithril at any of the shops. I'm just talking lore here real quick. We don't see any mithril at any of the shops. So it would tell me that we have had a mithril mine, but nobody's really been using it to make any weapons or anything like that. Seven Falls is just beyond the mountain range to the south of Salamand. That's where the Empire's been mining its mithril. Beyond the mountain range to the south of Salamand. I'm going to have to take a look at that on the map because that's confusing the heck out of me. Let's check out the weapon and armor shops for anything new. We do have long swords here. I'm broke as usual, and that's okay. We do have long swords here. That's going to be new. If you're a sword user like me, you're going to want to buy a few of those. Let's head into the armor shop. And we're going to find pretty much the same stuff. Bronze armor, bronze gloves, bronze helmet, bronze shield, bronze this, bronze that. Yeah, we're rocking bronze, right? While the Empire's rocking mithril. So it's really no wonder that we're getting our butts kicked by them. Let's head into the magic store. Is there anything new in store for me? Life, sap, warp, and teleport. So there are quite a few spells in there. I really got to get my rear in gear and start getting some money. But for now, we're going to end the video. So when we pick up... I talked to every NPC, right? I don't think I went into Joseph's house. Hold on. Before I give my outro, hold on. Okay, there's Joseph now. Let's talk to him real quick. Let's ask him about the Dreadnought. Of course I've heard of it. An abomination of an airship. That's what it is. There is a man who knows all about airships, but why should I tell you who he is? Joseph's not very welcoming, is he? You're here for Princess Hilda? A little short in the tooth, aren't you? You kids can't fool me. He doesn't even believe us. He doesn't even believe that we're rebels because of how young we are. Let's ask him about the mithril. Mithril? I haven't found any yet. I do have a few leads, but I don't plan on sharing what I do know with a bunch of perfect strangers. I'm going to need you to do a little something to prove you are who you say you are. There's a bunch of people from Salamand who are being forced to work in the cave at Summit Falls. Rescue them, and we'll talk. Okay. He doesn't care about the ring or the canoe. There's not much we can really do. Except to go to Summit Falls and save the slaves. We're going to save the slaves. Save the day for the slaves. Nobody should be a slave. Nobody. And anyway, we're going to end the video there. In the next video, we will go and do that. We'll save the slaves. We'll see if we can gain Joseph's trust and have him show us a mithril mine and show us where mithril is so that we can start producing that for the armies of the rebels. We're going to fight back against the Empire. We're going to fight them. They're not going to take over our land. Why they're doing this, again, I will have to play a little bit further into the game for me to remember, because I can't remember what the whole I'm going to take over the world thing is. Just a thing that Final Fantasy villains like to do. But anyway, sorry that this video has gone on for so long. If you made it this far, please consider leaving me a like, perhaps a subscribe if you don't want to miss more. And we'll see you again in the next one, guys. Good night.